Hi, welcome to Blast from the Past,
World War II edition.
I'm your host, Grace Larson, along with Morgan Oliver. Today we'll be interviewing important figures from World War II.
So today, can you please welcome our Navajo code talker, William McCabe.
Welcome to the show, William.
Thank you.
So how many different languages are there in Code Talk?
There's not really a specific amount.
Oh, okay.
Another quick question. Can you tell us what Adolf Hitler was called in the Comanche Code?
Adolf Hitler was also known as the crazy white man.
We were talking backstage, and we were wondering how you actually talk in code. So could you give us a word?
Yeah, I can teach you guys how to say hello.
Okay.
So how you say hello is yati.
Yati. All right. Thank you for that quick lesson, and
You're
thank you for
welcome.
being on our show.
Thank you guys.
Stay tuned for more interviews with more important figures. Hi, and welcome back to Blast from the Past World War II edition. I'm here with Harry Truman.
How you doing?
Thank you for being on the show, Harry.
No worries, thank you.
Our viewers have asked you a few questions, and would you mind if I ask them to you?
Absolutely.
What was your reasoning to drop the 2 atomic bombs on Japan?
Well, Japan was, obviously in the Pacific, so Japan was either going to attack America or America had to end up attacking Japan. So in order to stop Japan in their tracks, we had to attack Nagasaki and Hiroshima, and about a week after dropping these bombs, they unconditionally surrendered.
I'm sure it was a hard decision for you to make.
Absolutely.
And could you explain to our viewers the Truman Doctrine?
Well, the Truman Doctrine was a policy aid that helped countries have a peace between each other, so there was no war between all these countries.
Okay. And what was it like to witness the signing of the United Nations?
Well, seeing the Treaty of the United Nations being signed, it was an event that really helped America having peace between everybody.
Seems like a really good program.
Absolutely.
Thank you for answering our viewer questions.
You're very
it was
welcome.
so nice to have you on
Now
the show.
joining us on the show is our Tuskegee Airmen Lieutenant Colonel Clarence Shivers. Thank you for coming. How did it feel when other airmen underestimated your flying abilities for being African American?
It gave me motivations to prove them wrong and to win the war.
Well, do you feel like that was accomplished?
Yes, I feel like that was accomplished as long as I came back home to my family.
What was the hardest part of being an airman?
The hardest part of being an airman was, to stand out the discrimination from your own soldiers and to, stay alive and, just to keep a happy motivation going, a mood going with your teammates.
And this may seem out of the air, but can you give your opinion on the new movie Red Tails that just came into theaters?
Well, I think that's a good way to show people what really went on during the war for African Americans, and I think it's going to be exciting and fun and show different points of views of the war.
All right, thank you. Back to you, Grace.
Thanks, Morgan. And thank you for joining me, Mr. Roosevelt.
Thank you for having me on the show.
So I see you have polio. Does that add any difficulty to your presidency?
It actually does, just when I make my public appearances. But, I usually have braces that help support me when I make them, so it looks like I'm strong and fit, ready to lead this country.
So what would you say is your most difficult time during your presidency?
I think the most difficult time would have to be dealing with the fact that the attack on Pearl Harbor, and how we felt at that time, and we had lots of damage done to our country, and well, it was a sign that they are ready to fight against us. So I think it was a good thing that we retaliated by sending troops over there, and also the women picking up, the jobs for the men. And well, I think that would have to be it.
So then would you say Pearl Harbor was your main motive for joining World War II?
I'd say it was mostly the reason, but part of the reason would have to be, I thought it'd be a great idea to, to help join the French and fight in their fight against the Germans, so it will stop Adolf Hitler and the Japanese and Mussolini.
Thank you so much for your time. Do you have any closing remarks for our viewers?
God bless America.
Okay, so now joining us we have Rosie the Riveter. Thank you for coming, Rosie. So can you elaborate on how it's like being a heroic symbol for women?
Oh, it was very humbling, actually, because a lot of men did not think we could do their jobs when they went off to war, and we proved them wrong. We may not be as big as they are, but we have the resolve. We can do the work that they do.
Thank you. Well, I have information saying that you worked in a man's place. What was it like using the machinery and working on the airplanes while the men were up at war?
Well, it was very difficult at first because, as you know, women, well, I mean, I'm pretty muscular, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of women, we don't have the brawn that the males do. So it was difficult at first, but I think that we were able to do the jobs very well once we got the, experience doing the jobs. And also, not that I'm tooting my own horn or anything, but I did inspire a movement that increased the women workers from 12 million to 20 million. So I just want to, put that out there.
That's great. Just to wrap up, can you tell any inspirational words to the women out there in America?
We can do it.
And now I'd like to welcome Flying Tiger Ken Jerdstead. Thank you for being on the show. So tell us about your first experience with the
It was
Envy.
the first Christmas in it was the day before Christmas, 1941, and then I knew I had killed him because I saw him catch fire, and I just knew I shot him.
Did you have a wingman close by to support you?
He was my wingman and best friend. His name was Bill Reed.
Do you guys still keep in touch?
We do.
Oh, that's sweet. Did y'all play any games or do any activities in between missions?
In between missions, we would play poker. I wasn't very good at it, but I held mine.
Oh, sounds like a fun time.
It was.
Thank you for being on the show.
You're welcome.
Back to you, Morgan.
Welcoming to the show, we have Dwight Eisenhower. He was a general during Pearl Harbor. So, what was it like being a general during the bombing of Pearl Harbor?
It was kind of hectic because I had to jump into my angry general mode and run around and tell my cadets what to do and where to go when they really didn't know what to do because they were just coming into the military. Most of them were, and they didn't know how to react to actual bombings and stuff like that.
Our next interview is with General Douglas MacArthur. Thank you for being on the show, General.
No problem.
So I understand you come from an Army family, is that right? So was becoming a general something that you've always wanted to do or just something that was expected of you?
It was expected, but I actually do enjoy being in the military. And actually, I encouraged myself and made myself motivated to go into the West Point Academy.
Oh wow, West Point's such a hard school.
Yes.
Does anyone in the audience have any questions for the general?
I do.
Yes, you sir?
How does it feel to be the first father-son pair to win the Medal of Honor?
It feels amazing knowing that I could be awarded something and then have my son, part of my family, be awarded like the same exact prize.
Good question. Anyone else?
I do.
Yes, you?
Can you explain what the island hopping strategy is?
The island hopping strategy is when we were making an attack on Japan and we decided to attack smaller islands. That way we can get close enough to make a bombing ground so that we were able to bomb mainland.
Okay. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on the show. We all learned a lot from you. I learned so much from our interviews today, Morgan.
Definitely, me too. That was great. Hopefully the audience learned a lot too.
Oh, I hope so too. Especially Rosie the Riveter.
She's so
Just
sweet.
made me have girl power.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for tuning in so much. It was great.
We hope you learned something. Join us next time. As always, I'm Grace.
And I'm Morgan.
And this was Blast from the Past, World War II edition. See ya.